The very first thing I'm going to try and accomplish today is to stop packing valid entities contiguously. Game state here has all this stuff for the ECS. We have backing storage for entities. We call this entities data. Then we have a view, which we call entities, and this view, the data pointer, points to the beginning of the collection of entities here because the entity in position 0 is always the player entity. If we defeat a valid entity, we will move another entity up into the backing storage into the just defeated entity's place. And when we do that, we have to then go inside of turns and we have to update values in turns. Let's just delete this guy here. Initialize. We don't have a GS entities that's a view anymore. We're going to force this. Player index is going to be 0. Let's go look at add entity. We need to return whether or not a slot was available. Flags C. In enum, the type's going to be S64. Use 16. All right, we shouldn't need too many flags. We'll just set valid though, and we'll have flags here. Flags, set flags. Valid tells us that the slot is occupied. If they're not valid, we'll say make entity view. We'll pass in the collection of entities and the collection of components. And we also need to break. I also need to set this to true, slot available. EV flags, going to be or equals flags valid. Entities is no longer a view over the valid entities. It's the entire collection of entities. So what we need to do here is for entities, if not EV flags, and if it's not valid, continue. Okay, so if the nested EV health prop remaining, if it's less than or equal to 0, this is where we were getting like all kinds of bugs last time with the delete non-player entity because we have to go and muck around with the turn order and all this kind of stuff. Go into delete non-player entity here. So this is what we don't do anymore. Instead, we just clear the valid flag. And equal with the complement of flags valid. Entities used to be a view, but it's not a view anymore, so poof, that goes away. Delete component at. Now this delete component at was doing component shuffling. We don't need to do that anymore because we're not shuffling anything. We only call that once, so now we call it 0 times. And update the turn ordering. I might add some nice rendering stuff, like I might render the turn order. And if I do render the turn order, it pays to clean up the turn queue immediately. And so I think I will still do that. And here we don't need this anymore, so we get rid of that. So let's do this. Okay, now let's get a guy in front of me and go 1, go 2. Oh wait, I attacked once and like these guys didn't move. So here I go. 1, 2, and then, okay, actually this guy didn't move, right? This guy here did not appear to move. Was it always like that? Was it always broken like that? I'm not sure. That's a major simplification of the ECS. Forget about packing the valid entities contiguously. That removed a huge source of bugs that we spend a bunch of time sorting out just to get some data in hand and then made the decision, yikes, we don't want to do that. I hope to see you around. Peace.